Subscribe if you think Alfred is the best butler in the world. You know, I gotta admit, for all the crap that the DC Cinematic Universe throws our way, the rest of the shit ain't so bad. I've been saying it for years. Stop being a woman.
Well, yeah, if you're willing to look past the cinematic universe as well as some of the TV shows that they've been producing, the DC universe isn't so bad. I really don't have too many complaints. Well, I might have one complaint.
The dick measuring of fanboys.
And you know the funny thing is, this isn't even a problem with the other DC characters. It's always strictly Batman and Superman. Why can't they just be more like Aquaman fans?
Aquaman has fans? Okay, I deserve that one. So who do you reckon is stronger?
Personally, I don't really care who's stronger.
Well then how do you keep score?
By how much humanity they have.
Humanity?
He's right. Humanity is what makes superheroes superheroes. But when you look at it like that, then Batman's really got that one in the bag, doesn't he?
Well, I wouldn't say that. Superman and the rest of them have definitely showed a lot more humanity than a lot of people give them credit for in the animated series alone. In fact, I could even say that they rival Batman in terms of that. I say otherwise. Say to the what now? Batman is the greatest superhero ever because he has no powers and stands among gods. Okay, I wasn't really talking about that. It was a discussion on humanity. Batman has more humanity than Superman ever would because Superman is an alien from another world. Well, that's not entirely fair, now is it? Just because he's from another world, that doesn't mean he doesn't have humanity. Yeah, but he doesn't at all. Have you seen how he's portrayed in the movies? Okay, you know what? I'm going to show you just how much humanity that every one of the Justice League members has. This is the Justice League Christmas Special! Am I hitting under the belt here? Yeah, a little. But I'm also sick and tired of the argument that Batman is the only superhero that can show any humanity in the Justice League. Most people forget that behind the supers, there's the man. And with that statement, I mean that both figuratively and literally. Now, the episode begins with the Justice League doing Justice League things as they prepare for what they're going to do for Christmas. And from here, the story breaks off into 3 branches. The first branch being the story, the Green Lantern and Hawkgirl's relationship. This segment is important because it really does highlight just how different Hawkgirl and Green Lantern are from each other. And this is when they were still dating, mind you. But it also shows just how much they respect each other and how they want to accept and embrace each other's cultures despite how different they actually are. This really does highlight the fact that these two are quite literally from different worlds, but it doesn't matter because they really want to nail each other. The second part involves Clark Kent and J'onn J'onzz showing each other the true meaning of the holidays. Now, keep in mind my wording. I said Clark Kent, not Superman. Most people tend to forget that there is a man behind the super. That Clark Kent was a thing before he became the Man of Steel. Now, most of this is pretty much J'onn J'onzz trying to discover the true meaning of the holidays. However, there's sort of subtle, very subtle in some cases, character development for Clark Kent. Just the dynamics of how he behaves around the holiday season versus any time in his cape and cowl. But of course there's plenty of character development to go around, as J'onn J'onzz also discovers the true meaning of the holidays as he experienced the culture of humanity's best around him, even getting into the spirit of things himself as he's making one little girl's night. And of course, having his own special gift at the very end. And now we have the third and final story, which is personally my favorite. The Flash getting the gift story. It's as cliche and as campy as you might think it is. Flash makes a promise to a bunch of orphans to get them the perfect gift, but the toy that they ask for is not only the most popular toy on the market, but it seems to be out of stock everywhere. So he decides to go to the original manufacturers, the Japanese company that made it. Admittedly, when I first saw this, I thought he was actually going to go see Santa, but shut up! Now on his way back to the orphanage, Flash is forced to stop in order to stop the Ultra Humanite from destroying an art museum. The two of them have a bit of a fight, but the toy gets broken in the process, and the Flash is crushed. Ultra Humanite doesn't really seem concerned, but then again, he's the supervillain. But after a moving speech from the Flash, the Ultra Humanite is actually willing to help Flash in his predicament, fixing the toy and making some minor improvements.
Hello, children. Come close and I'll tell you a story. Little Clara had just received a beautiful toy nutcracker from her godfather, the mysterious Herr Drosselmeyer. Well, an improvement, wouldn't you say?
Now, most cartoon shows would probably have ended things right there, but Justice League Animated takes things a small step further in the really right direction. As the Ultra Humanite is being escorted into his jail cell, the Flash gives him one last Christmas gift before he leaves. And Ultra Humanite drops this small little bomb on us.
No, we had one just like it when I was... It's very nice. The guard will show you out.
Now, I might be looking too deeply into this, but let me explain for those of you who didn't catch that. The Ultra Humanite may be very well one of the most well-developed supervillains in the Justice League Animated. Because that line right there showed that he had a backstory. He had a life. There was something before he became the supervillain. He had something. And this moment of kindness right then and there brought that something back to the surface. If the show was allowed to continue, there would be no question in my mind that the Ultra Humanite would probably have teamed up with the Flash in order to save the world somewhere down the road. I really enjoy the Ultra Humanite. He is one of my favorite supervillains in the Justice League Animated, and it's a crime that he only had 3 episodes. Only 3. And that was Justice League the Animated Series Christmas Special. And what more do I have to say? It's the Justice League Animated Series, a Christmas Special. It has everything that made the Justice League the Animated Series good, and more. It truly shows just how human these characters are, and how much more development that they could go through just by not doing superhero deeds. Just by living everyday lives. Yeah, as I said constantly throughout this review, there's a man behind the super. They're not just capes with superpowers, they are people. And that's what made this episode so good, expressing humanity over superheroism. So I highly give this underrated episode a watch, if you haven't already. Or just rewatch it for the fun. I don't care. So what do you got to say to that, Mr. Nitpicky? Hey, where'd he go?
Yeah, he left about 5 minutes into this review.
That son of a bitch! You know what? I'm gonna review the Joker!
Oh, we are so dead.
And we sing the